This is WFYI News Now. It's August 26th, and I'm Abriana Herron. On today's show, a rally in Johnson County against plans to house ICE detainees at Camp Atterbury. Indiana Secretary of Education will oversee the state's colleges and universities. And an annual art fair that highlights the work of Black artists celebrates its 5-year anniversary this coming weekend.
Artists have to know that their work counts and that they matter, that their stories should be heard and seen.
Those stories coming up, but first. Indiana advocates say formerly incarcerated people need mental health and rehabilitation services to help them transition back into society. Tamoria Cunningham reports one group in Marion County is calling on lawmakers and other advocacy groups across the state to increase these resources.
PACE, or Public Advocates in Community Reentry, helps people reenter society after incarceration. Executive Director Rhiannon Edwards says addressing mental health and addiction are some of the biggest challenges formerly incarcerated people go through, but they're rarely talked about.
They'll get out and they'll get a job, and then it doesn't work out, or there's a violation and they're reincarcerated. And a lot of that stems from not dealing with kind of those issues that might have led them to get incarcerated to begin with.
PACE offers a 10-week program for men who are at high risk of reoffending. Edwards says she wants this initiative to go statewide, which she says will take state funding and support from advocacy groups. I'm Tamoria Cunningham.
Federal and state leaders want to use a central Indiana military base to temporarily house immigration and customs enforcement detainees. But since the plans for Camp Atterbury emerged last month, they've continued to draw backlash. George Hale has more from a rally in Johnson County against the plan.
Say it loud, say it clear! Immigrants are welcome here! We say justice, we say peace! No more!
Protesters at Johnson County State Park on Sunday waved anti-ICE and anti-Trump signs before driving en masse to the entrance of the military site. Democrat Brad Meyer is running for a congressional seat in the district south of Atterbury.
Every action, every protest must result in political energy and pressure on these people to stop what they're doing.
Meyer said the large turnout on most people's day off set an example for how Americans should respond to the immigration crackdown.
We're modeling courage for the Republicans that know this is wrong but don't say anything because they want to get along with their friends and family.
Meyer also called on fellow Democrats to speak out more. I'm George Hale.
Indiana's governor says the Hoosier state will fully cooperate with the Trump administration on immigration enforcement. Indiana's current Secretary of Education, Katie Jenner, will take on a new responsibility this fall, overseeing the state's colleges and universities. Jenner will take on the duties of Commissioner for Higher Education, Chris Lowry, while continuing to serve as Secretary of Education. Dylan Pierce-McCoy reports Jenner's appointment is designed to consolidate control of the state's K-12 and higher education systems.
Indiana leaders are doubling down on the premise that high school should connect directly with college and career training. Secretary of Education Katie Jenner has led the state K-12 system for 5 years. She says that as the state's higher education chief, she'll continue to push for young people to have more opportunities to earn college credit and certifications while in high school.
It really changes the game. We can start to ensure we're targeting and working with students as early as possible to make that connection.
Jenner was unanimously approved as the state's next Commissioner for Higher Education. She'll take over in October. I'm Dylan Pierce-McCoy.
And for our final story today, Butter, an annual art fair that highlights the work of Black artists, celebrates its 5-year anniversary Labor Day weekend. The event has provided an equitable opportunity for local artists who receive 100% of the profits. Nicole Powell will show her work at the art fair for the first time this year. I sat down with the Indianapolis native who is a photographer and painter. Can you tell us a little bit about the work you created for the 5th annual Butter Fine Art Fair?
This year, Butter is going to be focused on the lady in the big hat, and Murray's. Now, the two pieces are totally different. One is a still life, and the other is a beautiful brown woman in a big hat. Murray's came about, my husband is always cutting hair. He always had his barber bag in the bathroom, and I was like, oh, well, this would make for a good painting. I mean, who doesn't know Murray's grease? And your little brush will work it out too. So let me see, how can I make this into a good composition? And so I just took out my camera and I started taking pictures. And then the other is the total opposite of that. It's a woman in her finest, with a big hat, but it does sort of encompass the body, makes you say, hey, that is something to look at right there. Isn't she elegant? And that's really what I wanted to do with this piece. The two pieces are opposites of each other, but they speak about our culture and our lifestyle and the softness that can be found in it in just everyday things.
What inspired the creation of your work?
So many different things inspire me. I can find beauty in just about all things that we do. I think it comes from trying a variety of different mediums in my past, and also being a photographer. I always see something in that sort of picture frame, and then you take it and you mold it into the painting.
What excites you about being a part of Butter this year, your first time?
I'm excited about connecting with new artists and being in a space where everyone is sort of together and like-minded. Butter is exciting because it'll be a way to see a variety of different styles of art and people all at once, and just explore. I know that I'm going to be inspired regardless.
Why do you believe it's important to showcase the artwork of local Black artists?
Artists have to know that their work counts and that they matter, that their stories should be heard and seen. As an artist, it's your job to really focus on the things that are happening around you and tell the story. You should be telling your story and not letting someone else tell it, because they're not going to tell it correct. People who want to erase our stories, they want to silence our voices. And so it is important that we really are seen and heard. Butter is important because it gives artists who have been sort of in the shadows for whatever reason. I think that young people, especially Black children in schools, just disadvantaged, I believe that all the kids need to be able to see that, oh, this is something that I could do, and this, I don't have to do it this way. I could do it that way.
Thank you so much, Nicole.
Thank you.
That was local artist Nicole Powell talking with me ahead of the Butter Fine Art Fair. That's all for today's episode of WFYI News Now. Our podcast is produced by Zach Bundy, with support from the news team at WFYI and public media journalists across the state. Our news director is Sarah Neal-Estes. Kendall Antron produced our music, and I'm your host, Abriana Herron. If you like today's episode, remember to subscribe and share, and follow WFYI on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube to check in on our newsroom throughout the day. Thanks for listening. We'll be back tomorrow.